Hello, and welcome to another book review. Today, I'll be reviewing The Plague by Albert Camus. Sit back and enjoy, because this is going to be a great review on a great book. Now, the first thing I want to say right off the bat is I really enjoyed this book. Camus is one of my favourite writers. The way he writes is beautiful, and the ideas he communicates in his writing are very thought-provoking, and I find it very enjoyable to read Camus. This book is especially relevant to our times. The plot of the book essentially follows that a plague ravages through a town in France and kills half the population of a town of around 200,000 people. So, really relevant to our times. And the predictions that Camus makes in this text are kind of a bit scary because he kind of gets it spot on with what's happening today, even though this is a fictional tale and was written some 60 years ago. So some of the predictions Camus made, when I was reading them, I was a bit like, oh, like, that's what's happening today. It's a bit crazy. So what he says is there's a lack of materials. So firstly, they run out of doctors and men, and they don't have enough materials to fight the plague. That's one of the first things I thought, whoa. But before that, he talks about like what people do when they first hear about the plague. And then he talks of a man who when they take to hospital, they find he's been stockpiling heaps of food and stuff to sell at a higher price, which we've seen people doing already, or we have seen for coronavirus. He also talks about how people miss their loved ones a lot. They feel very exiled. And he has some beautiful lines where he just talks about how people are stuck inside and they just long to be with their loved ones, but they can't because of the plague that's ravaging across the town. The other thing that is amazing, like beautiful in this text has the best minor characters I've ever read. They're amazing. My favorite is in the Old Asthmatic. So the Old Asthmatic, pretty much, he has 2 pots of chickpeas, and every day, in a temper, he takes from one pot that's full of chickpeas and one pot that's empty. He takes one chickpea, puts it in the other pot, one other pot, and he does it at he says like a constant tempo, in and out. And every time one pot fills up and one's empty, he has a snack. And that's just what he does forever because he doesn't want to work anymore as an old asthmatic. And that's just so absurd and it's so cool and funny and I love it. I love that about Camus. The other one is Grant. And Grant is a writer, okay? He's writing a manuscript. But what he does is the whole book, he's fussing about this one sentence. He can't get it right, and he rearranges words, put them in and out. Oh, that doesn't make sense. Oh, that sounds better. And at the end of the book, they found Grant's manuscript, and it's thick. It's like 50 pages long, and it's all just the same sentence in different ways. I won't spoil anything, but this is a no spoiler review, but it's pretty just like absurd again, just Camus. Another great character in this book is Cottard. Cottard is just crazy. And I'm not going to spoil anything, but you have to read the book to really find out just how great the minor characters are. One thing I really want to stress is as much as I tell you this book is great, and I tell you this book is beautiful and amazing and thought-provoking, I'm never going to express the essence of the book through a book review. Like, you need to read it to understand what I'm talking about. I'm never going to communicate Camus in a review, no matter how hard I try. And I don't think anyone really can, which is a shame. But at the same time, go read it. One of the things I think Camus does best, and I haven't seen all that ever do it as well, is the way he conveys emotion in his characters without really using emotive words. It's a strange phenomenon, but Camus, he just does it. Like, the way in which he'll long-winded and he won't use any emotive words, but just the emotion is so clear in what he's talking about. It's so beautiful. And this review is just going to be 5 or so minutes of me saying how amazing Camus is and how amazing this book is. So you just need to, hopefully I'll get you to read it. And if you read it, in the comments below or email me what you thought of it. I'd love to have a discussion. In contrast to Conrad, who I analysed in my last review, Camus doesn't really care about setting and the environment around as much. He cares more about the emotion and the characterization, which I personally enjoy more. I think people are much more interesting than surroundings, but that's just me. Let me know in the comments below what you think. The book will really make you think, and I think that's one of the best qualities of good literature. It makes you think. You read the book, but for the next week, you're still thinking about the book. And that, I think, you get so much out of a book like that. And I think if you read this book, you'll have a different view of the world we live in right now. And I really think you should read the book. And I've said this book is thought-provoking, and it really is. The book covers some really hard-hitting ideas, like covers fate. In the book, there's a priest, okay, who has lots of conflict with all the main characters. And I'm going to read a short passage from the book just to try to give you a small taste of some of the tension that Camus creates. I understand, says Panelaux. Just a quick disclaimer, I don't speak French, and I'm very sorry if I'm butchering some of these French names. I understand, said Panelaux. It is outrageous because it is beyond us, but perhaps we should love what we cannot understand. Rioux sat up abruptly. He looked at Panelaux with all the strength and passion he could muster and shook his head. No, father, he said. I have a different notion of love, and to the day I die I shall refuse to love this creation in which children are tortured. Now this is in reference to a child who's just died of the plague. And I think for Camus to have this, it's a bit of a dig, and I think it's really interesting. It's just cool, and I can't speak right now, but read the book. Now, this is quite a short review. I spent ages trying to get this review perfect with the script, but I felt it wasn't authentic, and I think it's better to just spew my thoughts into camera, and that way you get my authentic thoughts on the novel. But to finish it, I'll leave you with a quote from the novel. The only way to fight the plague is with decency. Now, I think this is powerful, especially for the times we're in. If we all run around like headless chickens, it's not going to be good for anyone. Just stay calm and collected, and just use your brain. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this short little review. Read The Plague, it's amazing. I give it an S- as my final score. Very high score, very hard to break into that S bracket. But yeah, like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Another cool little thing that really has no merit to the overall text, but I found interesting and you may as well, is if you've read Camus' The Stranger or The Outsider, whichever you call it, he actually incorporates some intertext of that text in this text, and I'll read it to you. It involved a young company employee who had killed an Arab on the beach. This is really short and really adds no merit to the text, but I just found it cool that Camus just references his own text for no real reason in this text. It's pretty cool. Little side fact about Camus.